Alright guys, I'm standing right here because I don't want you guys to see too much. This is recorded at the end of the video. I just want to say I appreciate all the attention that we've gotten recently here on YouTube. Drop a comment and let me know how long you guys have been following, something like that. Let's interact together more. I really want to get to know my followers a lot more, or subscribers, so drop a comment and let's talk. Ask me any questions about what you guys see. Hopefully this video is somewhat entertaining or you guys learned something, but because it was just a process of painting. And there's only, you guys, everyone knows the process of painting for the most part. So I gave you guys the basic information on what you guys are about to see. But with that being said, let's just jump right into it. Welcome back to Stroker Media, and today we are working on the 500 horsepower Nova for the first time in a couple months. I had face surgery, as you guys can tell. I've talked about it in some of my previous videos. But today we are feeling well enough and, got doctor's permission to start working on stuff, back to normal life a little bit. So we're working on the 500 horsepower Nova. We're going to take a few minutes here before I start working on it officially to regroup and kind of clean up the shop here. A lot of rush jobs have happened since then, and I just need to kind of regroup and see where we're at with everything, get all my tools reorganized and everything. So we're going to get this done, and then I'll keep you guys posted. Okay, so we got the garage pretty well tidied up. It's not perfect, but honestly, it's just not going to be perfect until this is done. There's so much going on with it. So we're going to go ahead and start getting the frame ready here. And in order to do so, we're going to take a few different steps. So there's a little bit of surface rust that came back just because I wire wheeled it. It didn't really even come back, it just appeared. Because I wire wheeled it down to bare metal, didn't have any oil or paint or anything on that like to cover it. No worries, that's okay because the POR15 turns rust into paint. The only thing you really have to get off is dirt. And so they have a degreaser cleaner that I bought with the kit. But just to be safe, just to make sure like it's working in all the right spots, I'm going to help it out a little bit. And I'm going to take some lacquer thinner over the car, over the frame up here the best I can, let it air dry for a few minutes, and then take the degreaser cleaner to it from POR15 just to help it out just a little bit. This will get the surface clean, and then we'll let this soak on there for a little bit, and then that'll help. That way this isn't taking care, doesn't have to waste its energy on stuff at the surface, if that makes any sense. In my head, it makes sense. We also have some mineral spirits here for the Firewall and stuff. If we have any degreaser left over, we'll use lacquer thinner, mineral spirits, or one of these things. Might do the same process kind of on the Firewall. But that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump into it. I just got some terry cloths here. That I got all of this except the POR15 from Lowe's here. It's a pack of 24, it's like $6. So we're going to use this instead of wasting a whole bunch of paper towels. So I guess I'm just going to get to it. So 3 rags is what we went through. So we'll toss those, might wash them, you keep them. All right, let's read instructions here on a degreaser. 4 parts water, 1 part cleaner. So let me go do some diluting here, and then I will be right back. Okay, so I did spray some on the frame and kind of let it dry into it a little bit, and I just ran a rag over it, and it's more orange. And is what that tells me is there's dirt on there, but because there's some dirt here, but the orange tells me it's down to scrubbing the rust off, which we don't really need to completely do here. And because again, the POR15 turns rust into like paint. It's a chemical reaction. So is what we're going to do here to finish up is we're going to do one more scrubbing with this. We're going to use rags and the degreaser, the POR15 degreaser here. Let's let some air into this bottle. So we'll do one more scrubbing here with this, and then we'll go ahead and just let it kind of soak on in quite a few different spots. We'll do a complete scrubbing just to make sure there's no oil deposits anywhere, stuff like that. Let it dry, and then I think we'll good to start brushing the paint on. But yeah, so I did roughly, the math on this is roughly, I think it's technically, you're supposed to do for 4-to-1 of this is the 32-ounce bottle, you're supposed to do like 6.4 ounces of cleaner and then fill the rest of the way up with water, with hot water according to the instructions. But I went ahead and did just, I roughed it up to about 4, what did I say? I did roughly 6 ounces of hot water, and then did about 25-ish ounces or 20-ish ounces of hot water. Didn't do the full, I guess, 32. Yeah, I guess I did almost do 4-to-1. I was trying to make it a little bit stronger, but I just realized my math was off on making it stronger, and I really just did about the same. So yeah. So I guess I didn't, but if I need to redo it here in a few minutes, just if I'm unhappy with how clean it's getting, we'll do that. Okay, so with that done, again, you can see most of this is orange. A little bit of it's dirt, but it's mostly orange. So we're just rubbing off some surface rust. So here's what we're gonna do. The bottle, the instructions for this say to rinse it off with water. So I'm gonna do one more good coat of this, finish off this bottle. There's 5 ounces left. So I'm gonna spray it on, let it sit for a few minutes, and while it's sitting, I'm gonna go fill up the other bottle of spray that I have with just water, or the other spray bottle that I have with just water, rinse it off like the instructions say to do, and then just to make sure I don't leave any oils behind or anything, I'm gonna go ahead and take some mineral spirits over it, just to be safe. Again, you really can't be too safe with this. I know that's a degreaser, but water, right here in the country, the water is not super clean, so we're gonna go ahead and just soak this a little bit more, and then get some water and rinse everything off. Okay, so I went over and grabbed the can of paint to read the instructions and realized that I still have one more step, the metal prep. So what this does is, let me read it here. It removes any loose or flaking rest, paint scale, stuff like that. It doesn't look, POR15, cleaner degreaser is recommended. Above 70, apply with brush, roller sprayer, dip rusted metal. Okay, so we just spray this on. Doesn't say to dilute it any at all. This basically etches the metal. I got spider webs all over it. Okay, so we're gonna let this, is probably what we're do, is do the lacquer thinner again, help dry up all this water, and then spray this stuff on there and rinse it off, and then let it dry. It's pretty hot and humid and stuff, so this water is evaporating pretty quickly. 2 to 6 hours. So, okay, so we might have to finish this up tomorrow. I might just have to come out here early on during the day, because this has to be applied every 2 to 6 hours when it's finger drag. Okay, so that's okay. So we'll save the metal etching for tomorrow. We'll let this, is gonna flash rust. But that's okay, because we have metal prep. Okay, so I should have read the instructions, so I might have to repeat some of these steps tomorrow. It's okay, there's plenty of product here cleaning wise, so I'm gonna go ahead and take the lacquer thinner over this and remove this water, so that way there's no puddled water anywhere to create rust. If I was smart, I would brush on a coat of oil over it, but I'm not that smart. So there's no way it will flash rust any more than what it did sitting for a month in humid weather. So, okay, here's what we're gonna do. I am going to clean this up, run it down with some lacquer thinner real quick, get all the water puddled up everywhere off of it. And then tomorrow I'll come back out here and do one more coat of lacquer thinner just to make sure nothing got on it overnight. Make sure it's dry, no dust or anything. Metal prep it, do my first coat of paint, do the second coat later on. Totally fine, totally fixable, not a big deal at all. I'm not picking the engine up till Sunday. So we got this. Okay, I'm going to do all this off camera, and I will turn the camera back on tomorrow when I'm actually ready for this stuff. Okay, it is the next day, so I think we're good. There's not really any surface rust. I think we're good to not do another wipe down. I think we're good to just move on to the metal prep. So I'm just rereading the directions. Okay, so basically the only instructions here is to keep the surface wet with this for 20 minutes and then rinse it off with water. So simple enough. Somewhere we have a spray bottle. It's empty. We are going to put gloves on just because I don't know what chemicals do this. I don't know what this stuff can do to your hands, and I don't really want to find out, so we'll just put gloves on just to be safe here. Okay, so we're gonna basically just do this for the next 20 minutes or so until the alarm goes off, and just keep it wet here. We use about maybe, I don't know, half the bottle. So hopefully this keeps it nice and wet for a little bit. We don't have to use more. Should be plenty, and then we'll let it dry and put on the next coat. All right, guys. So I got this one section done here really quick. You guys can follow these directions to figure out for yourselves on how to do this. But I'm actually gonna have my mom come help me brush this on. I'm just using some foam brushes to brush it on here. It's going on pretty smoothly, but I'm gonna have my mom come help me just to make sure it can get done in a timely manner before the second coat needs to go on, because I don't want to be like working on it and then have to immediately go back. It's just taking a little bit longer than I thought it was going to. So she's gonna come out and help me. I will keep you guys posted. I'll show you guys kind of the after. Yeah, we're making some progress here. Should hopefully, I think in this weather, just take about 2 hours to dry. But yeah, so I'll have my mom work on one side while I work on the other, and then I'll work on the underneath. I won't make her lay down in this, but yeah, so I'll keep you guys posted. All right, so 3 coats later. I know I didn't record any of it, but there's only so much time lapse I feel like you guys are interested in seeing. So fun fact, I have no feeling on my forehead there, so I literally had no clue that I had paint there until someone told me. But I am absolutely covered in this stuff. I have no clue how well this is going to come out, but the frame looks really good. This is the 3rd coat here. I finished up the last 2 coats. My mom really helped me up with the first one. It was drying so quick on the first coat that the metal was really absorbing it. So I was worried I wasn't going to be able to get it move along fast enough to get it done in time, but this looks really good. The underside is all done. Everywhere is pretty much done with it, so it looks really good. Okay, so now the can is absolutely covered in paint, and this stuff is very liquidy. I'm a little bit confused because it does say that sometimes you can add they make a chemical to dilute it, like POR15 does. But I don't know that you would really need it for anything. You'd have to have a really bad spray gun, in my opinion, to need to dilute it. But so we're gonna let this dry, figure out when I need to add the top coat to it, if it's tonight, or if I can let it fully dry. All that stuff. So we're gonna look at the can, try to read it, and then what I'll do is I'll kind of lay a tarp across all this, and then rattle can the firewall. I started kind of working on wire reeling the inner fenders. So the fenders, the firewall, and the tubular core support there will all be the same color. It'll be a nice metallic gray, not like this, not like what it was before. It'll be even better. And so that'll all look really nice, blend really well, and then the engine will be a shade of red. Everything will look really good. So yeah, I'm really excited at how this is turning out. The biggest thing, there's a lot of different companies that make the same product as POR15, and the biggest thing is prep. If you don't prep this, technically you can paint over dirt, grease, and stuff, but the issue is when that dirt or old paint chips off, well, then your POR15 is going to chip off. So that's the biggest issue with these that people don't take into account. Rust is, if you have chipping rust, you got to get rid of that. But if it's just surface rust, the purpose of this is it turns it into like a paint surface. So with that being said, I'm going to do some reading on these cans and see when I need to add the top coat. I will keep you guys posted. Okay, so it is Saturday of the next weekend. The week just got carried away, busy with work. Something else happened on last Sunday, that stopped me from working on coming back out to work on the Nova, and it's right here. So this is Barbie. So we have me and my wife have three dogs now. All of them are Australian Shepherd of some sort. I think one is our oldest one is Bandit. He's Border Collie Australian Shepherd mix. Then we have a mini Aussie, which is Chevy. And then this one is a blue Merle or blue Merle. I don't know how to pronounce it. Aussie. And I let the wife name her, and we were stuck in the air up on Caddy. I really like Pontiac, because Chevy. But the wife settled on Barbie, and we're out here at my parents' house to work on the Nova. And because it's been a week and she's mostly kennel trained, but a puppy can only go a couple hours without using the bathroom, and my wife has to sleep during the day because she works night shifts, weekend night shifts at a hospital. So she sleeps during the day, and I didn't want her to have to wake up every hour or two to walk the puppy. So we brought her out here. So I'm gonna unpack the car, get her inside the house in the kennel here, and then get to work on the Nova. So I'll keep you guys posted. All right, so we got the dog unloaded, and now we are headed into the shop. Get everything ready. The wind blew the door open. Not a big deal. Okay. It is hot and humid out today, guys. Alright. Let me get all the lights turned on here for you guys. Alright, we got everything on. Let me flip around and show you guys what we're working with. Alright, so it has been a week since we finished this up. Looks really good. We are going to go ahead and etch this since we have some extra etching left, and get it all prepped up. We're going to cover this up with some rags, and then I'm just going to very lightly etch it. You're supposed to drench the metal, but we're not going to do that. Because I don't want it to run down onto the frame and eat into this paint, although it should be fine. But we'll go ahead and etch it real quick. And then while it's etched, or after it's done etching, we will go ahead and start spray painting it. I'm going to go ahead and clean it up. I'm going to blow it off with the air compressor and then wipe it down with some mineral oils and spirits and whatever it's called, and get it prepped that way. Then we'll prime it and get it all ready. Okay, so we have everything pretty well taped off here. Not really the best, but well enough. This is just behind, so I'm not too worried about that. As you can tell, it is etched now, so it's fine. Everything's going to work pretty well here. We taped up all the way back there. We have this rag that will move around, but it's covering all the bolts and stuff there perfectly. We have the rags covering the frame where we'll be spraying the primer and everything. So everything should be good here. This stuff just goes behind the dash. So even if a little bit gets in there, I'll just go kind of do a downward angle on it, and that'll stop it from going straight in. Same thing all over here. I'll do a downward angle on it, and everything should be good to go. So we're going to go ahead and spray our primer. Okay, so these cans have been sent for a little bit, so we're going to get them on good shape here. So I know this isn't going to be perfect. There's just only so much I can do here with it, mainly this corner. The rest of this I'm not too worried about at all. We'll go slow and steady with, and we should be good on most of it. A little bit anxious here, but the only way to find out if we got this is by doing it here. So, okay, so we're doing nice thin coats here, just to make sure, and I guess we're just gonna kind of go for it here. So we'll start. Trying to think how I want to do this. I guess we'll start at the top here. I think this is I'm on my third coat here. Let me give you guys a little bit of a close-up here. Hopefully you guys can kind of see the metallic to it. The clear coat will really help it pop. Most of this right here will be covered by the panel, so I'm not too worried about it. But overall, I think this looks really good. It really pops with the black of the frame. I'm really happy with it. But yeah, we still have to put the glossy clear coat on. But in the meantime, I want to show you guys the small block, the 327 here. Let me get the cover off of it here. So here we have it, 60 over. Cylinders look great. The crankshaft is there. We got everything for it. The pistons and everything as well are right there. Everything has been measured by the machine shop. All of the bearings, new bearings installed everywhere. Again, they did the measuring for it all. This thing is brand stinking new at this point. And I have a little bit of a complaint, so let me give you guys a rundown on it real quick. Okay, so all my paperwork for it is at home, but they did give me a print off with all the stuff that they did to it. All in all, about $3,500 is what it cost me. I believe that's rounding up a little bit, but about $3,500. give or take a few bucks. $3,500, and they didn't assemble it. They had it all together for all the measurements, did all the final measuring on it, and they did not assemble it, the final assembly, which was, I guess I didn't clarify that I wanted them to do the assembly, so it's kind of on me, but you would think for $3,500 and the fact that they had it together to do the measuring that they would assemble it. They didn't ask me if I wanted it assembled, and I just kind of assumed it would get assembled. So again, I don't know whose fault that is really on. If it's just a thing I should have known, I don't know if that's normal machine shop stuff unless you clarify. I'm not sure. But that's where we're at with it. So I'm hoping to wrap up this video, prepping everything, and then start reassembling the engine. I have some other stuff I need to paint, but I'm going to see if I can't recruit some help for it. But yeah, so the next videos you guys will see will be of the 327 getting reassembled, and you guys are going to learn along the way with me. There's not too much to be done to it other than literally assembling, because the measurements have already been done. So there's that, but going through everything, fine-tooth comb, that sort of stuff, you guys will learn alongside with me. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, so we got the 327 back. Very excited about it. Got some ARP content coming for you guys. So stay tuned. I'm going to go ahead and try to wrap up this paint. Alright, so sadly we're going to go ahead and end this video here. It probably wasn't the most entertaining video. Drop a comment, let me know what you think about that. But we did get the firewall all ready to go, ready for reassembly. Again, the video there's not a whole lot I can do here. It's just paint, it's as boring as watching paint dry. That's just where we're at with the project. So at the end of the day, I apologize for that, but it's part of it, and I hope you guys want to see it. So firewall's done, frame is done. We are ready for reassembly. I'm not going to start reassembly today because I want everything on this frame to finish drying up. I don't want to stir up a whole bunch of dust for it to get stuck in there and everything. So we're just going to call it a day. I'll come out tomorrow and wrap up. We will start reassembling everything. We got to reassemble the engine. Once the engine's in here, we got to start working on rewiring. We got a lot of stuff we got to do. So we're a quarter of the way there, I feel like. So, but with that being said, drop a comment and let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you guys later.